What's up, everybody? J.R. Riemann back again, coming to you from Classic Lanes here in Rochester Hills, Michigan. And I'm going to show you a little bit today of something I normally wouldn't do because I just assume that most people know the difference, but we're going to visually show you the difference of a solid bowling ball versus a pearl bowling ball, one that's real shiny. I want you to be able to see the difference in ball motion, and I'm going to try to explain as best I can as to why you see such a difference in the two different bowling balls when they're both still made out of reactive resin. So we're going to talk about all that here in a minute. Stay tuned. All right, so what I want to pay attention to is I want to pay attention to pearl versus solid. I don't really care much about the core right now. All I want to do is show you the difference between a pearl cover stock versus a solid cover stock. So the pearl being the trend, the solid being the redemption. And the reason we're only focusing on the cover is because that's so much of the actual motion you're getting. The actual cover stock is what touches the lane. It is the big giant mass majority of where your ball motion comes from. So what your surface is, the type of cover stock is going to mean a whole lot more than the minor details of where you're placing the core, because the core is really going to show you, can I change it by a couple inches, make it roll a little sooner, make it roll a little later? Can I get it to maybe be a little bit stronger down lane? Just minor details when it comes to core manipulation. But when it comes to the cover stock, you can change the biggest parts of the ball motion just by going from one extreme to the other, or even making small changes in surface prep. So if we start with the redemption, and we'll try to start in that 15 range, throwing it a little bit to the right, and see what it does, and then we'll compare it to the pearl ball. So real smooth. You've seen that really pick up the front part of the lane and really try to be super smooth and soft down lane. It didn't quite want to get there. So now we're going to take the pearl ball and we're going to try to throw it in the same general area and just see if there's, a big difference or not in ball motion. See there? So that one, granted it was a pinch to the right compared to the last one, but that one really picked up off of the friction and it started going immediately. So the misconception that most people has is pearl and shiny means the ball is going to go straighter. And most times that's actually not the case. Most times the pearl in a cover stock is going to make it pick up friction quicker than anything. So when there's friction on the lane, you can get it to really read that friction hard. Now, the pearl does delay reaction most times when you get into the oil. It's not going to read as soon as a solid bowling ball because of the pearl scooting through there, but if there is friction early, the pearl is going to read that friction, whereas the solid is going to blend it a little bit. So you saw the difference. The pearl went high, and then the solid actually blended it and then almost went light to strike. So now I'll move more to the left, try to get to that 20 range and see what the pearl does. So now you can see it really delay and then come off the spot. Granted, it's still 10 pin, but let's see what the difference is with a solid bowling ball in that same area. Now most would think stronger bowling ball, more friction on the cover stock, should hook more, which should strike, or should go high from that same spot. But that's not the case. See, real similar, but the difference is if you pay attention to the front part of the lane, this bowling ball actually reads the front and the middle part, which makes that big, strong cover basically blend as much as it did. Now, if I throw that further right, so now let's keep going left. I'm gonna throw this from further left, further right. The chances of it getting to the pocket go down, because it should use up energy and be real blah down lane. See, that's what I'm talking about. So that one never sees down lane motion. That one, it all was all in the front, all in the middle, and it just blah the rest of the way down the lane. That's where we have trouble. And most people get it confused and they say, well, this is a stronger ball. This should hook more. That doesn't make any sense. And then when you throw a weaker ball, holy cow, this ball hooks a ton. So I'll try and throw this one in a similar area and watch this one hook. Ooh, I even missed right. See the big difference? I missed right a little bit and it still picks up the lane and goes through the pin. So let me try and throw that one again and keep it more in the oil. Because that may give you a false read there, being a little bit further right because it's drier to the right. It's better. See, and that one picks up the lane and actually gets back. I'll throw the redemption again to let you see that same thing once again. And see if this time it gets back to the pocket, or if it's going to two pin, or if it'll miss the head pin again. All right, so now let's see what the redemption does from there. Oh, I missed right. But see, that was basically identical to that trend. When I missed right with the trend, it almost overhooked and got through the pocket. Whereas this one, it just bleeded again. It bleeded all its energy out. So it has no chance. Now, the difference when you go to a urethane ball from that same spot. See, essentially you're getting the exact same thing out of a urethane ball as what you do that redemption solid. So now let's take a look. Now I've got a shinier solid here as well. And I'm going to show you, this is an arrow. It's basically the same layout as the redemption, but it's shinier. It's got a lot of lane shine on it. It's going to store some energy. It won't miss the head pin. So it should at least have a chance to hit the head pin compared to the redemption. But again, it's still a strong, technically solid cover stock. Oh, I missed left. Missed left, but it still got there. But again, at flat 10 because it's burning up energy, because it's not going to go through the pins from there. Not unless I really, really twirl it and get it out there to the right. That's my only chance. So, but you don't want to have to do that. That's the point. I'm gonna try this again so you guys can see it. I'm gonna try to get it going right. That's better. But see, now that one picks up because this is shinier cover. So I can't stress this enough. You've got to really pay attention to the surface of your bowling ball. Just because technically all the books, all the numbers, everything says that this bowling ball is supposed to be stronger than this bowling ball. Whatever you're bowling on, that throws all that out the window. I mean, it's all about the surface matching up to what you're bowling on. This was a beat up pattern. This had a lot of surface being used and it was destroyed by league bowlers, open play. So there was an awful lot of play on these lanes that made the fronts hook a lot and then the back ends got tight. So it made the dull bowling ball see the front, blend, and then not want to hook again down lane because it's using up energy. So I can't stress enough how important that is to pay attention to those things. You've got to see the difference between whether your ball is burning up, blending out the pattern, or if it's you know, if it's not, if it's scooting down lane and overhooking. So sometimes the move isn't to go weaker when you see overreaction, when you see more bowling ball, when you see more motion down lane. Sometimes the move is actually to go stronger bowling ball to blend out that pattern just a little bit. That's why you see so many people using strong bowling balls and urethane on short patterns, because the urethane hooks earlier and blends the back part of the lane. Just like a strong bowling ball, the cover stocks are going to hook earlier and blend the rest of the lane. So really pay attention to this when you're bowling. You've got to be able, this is one of the biggest factors in ball motion, in making sure you're striking as much as you can, is really paying attention to make sure your surface matches what you're bowling on and what you're trying to do. That's all I got for you today. Make sure to hit that like, comment, subscribe, do all that good jazz. And until next time, guys, I'm out of here. We'll see you guys later. Take care.